Feels good, doesn't it? Being more than human. That line hit me like a thunderbolt. The first time I heard it, I froze. Because isn't that the most forbidden thought hiding in all of us? The fantasy of breaking out of weakness, of no longer being prey. But here's the thing, if it feels good to be more than human, then what exactly are we becoming? And maybe more importantly, what are we leaving behind? You've probably felt it too, right? That chilling thought after watching a scene like this? Are we the food, or are we the predators? And don't just brush it off. Because history, myth, every story we've ever told screams the same truth: humanity has always been obsessed with the fear of being eaten, dominated, consumed. I mean, think about it. Vampires feeding on us, aliens abducting us, predators hunting us in the dark. All of fiction is basically one giant reminder that deep down, we see ourselves as weak, fragile, delicious little snacks waiting to be taken apart. But this scene flips that fear on its head. Suddenly, we're not just prey anymore. We're becoming the very nightmare we used to run from. And here's the forbidden question nobody really wants to ask: what if that's the only way to survive? Let's get controversial here. If survival demands we shed our humanity, are we still human? Or are we just something else, something unrecognizable? I'll admit, part of me laughs nervously at that thought. Because if you offered me powers that could make me untouchable, a force to be feared, yeah, I'd be tempted. Who wouldn't? But then comes the darker loop. If I stop fearing death, if I stop fearing them, then do I also stop fearing what I could become? And trust me, it doesn't stop there. Because that one line, "Know your food to them," isn't just a comeback. It's a declaration. It's the moment when prey turns to predator, when weakness becomes rebellion. It's the seed of transformation. And the scary part is, I don't think the transformation ends with claws and glowing eyes. It's psychological. It's about becoming something that sees life not as sacred, but as disposable. This is where things get messy. Because the pain point, the real controversial truth, is that humanity's greatest fear isn't death. It's losing the illusion that we're at the top of the food chain. The moment that illusion cracks, everything we believe about ourselves collapses. And listen, if you're still with me here, this is the kind of deep dive we do all the time. So, if you're the kind of person who craves the forbidden corners of sci-fi and wants to uncover the truths the story doesn't want you to know, make sure you hit subscribe right now. Because trust me, what's coming next is even darker. Alright, back to the nightmare. Here's the hidden secret nobody wants to say out loud: evolution doesn't care about morality. Becoming more than human might feel like power, but it comes at a cost. The moment you stop being afraid, you also stop being controlled by empathy, by restraint, by conscience. You turn into the thing that feeds, not the thing that protects. Think about it. Why do monsters scare us? Because they're stronger, faster? No. It's because they don't hesitate. They kill without doubt, without guilt, without humanity. If we become that, are we still worthy of calling ourselves human? Or are we just the new monsters wearing familiar skin? And maybe that's the forbidden knowledge buried in this scene. We've been conditioned to believe monsters are out there, some alien, some other, some enemy beyond our walls. But what if the real monster was always inside us, waiting for permission to break free? I know, heavy stuff. But stay with me. Because here's where I want you to really think. Would you take it? The deal, the transformation, the power to never be prey again, but at the cost of never truly being human again? Yes or no? Drop your answer in the comments. Because I guarantee this is the kind of split that reveals who's still clinging to humanity and who's already ready to step into the dark. And don't worry, I'll go first. If you gave me the choice between being food or becoming the predator, honestly, I'd take the predator every time. But here's the twist. I'd probably regret it the second I realized I couldn't go back. That's the heart of this scene. That's the fear it plants in you. Not just that monsters exist, but that given the chance, we'd all eventually become one. And this is just the beginning. Because in a second, I'm going to break down line by line what this dialogue really means. The secrets hiding in plain sight, the psychological war embedded in every word, and why the final twist of "they should be afraid of us" might be the most chilling promise of all. But first, let's open the door a little wider. Let's go line by line. Because trust me, this isn't just dialogue, it's code. It's a manifesto. It's the writers screaming something forbidden right under our noses. Feels good, doesn't it? Being more than human. Stop right there. This is the doorway. This isn't just bravado, it's seduction. Think about it. Every villain in history, every corrupted hero, Every fallen character begins with one intoxicating truth: power feels good. You felt it too. That moment you win the argument. The thrill of knowing you had the upper hand. Imagine that feeling multiplied by 1,000, with no consequence, no resistance. That's what more than human really means. But here's the forbidden layer. If it feels good, then who decides where the line is? How much is too much before you're no longer you? Let's move. We're food to them. At first, it sounds like fear, helplessness. But it's also clarity. Because when someone calls you food, they're stripping away the illusion of equality. It's saying, you're not my rival. You're not my enemy. You're my resource. And that, right there, is the most dehumanizing, most terrifying thing a person can hear. But wait for the turn. Know you're food to them. Boom, the reversal. In 5 words, the entire power dynamic flips upside down. And here's the secret: this isn't just a comeback. It's a warning. It's saying, you're already thinking like prey. I refuse to. This is the spark of rebellion. The moment someone chooses to redefine themselves not as victim, but as predator. Now here's where I want to throw it back to you. If someone told you you're food, how would you react? Would you panic? Or would you fight back? And be honest, because this is the kind of test that divides us. Drop it in the comments: fight, flight, or something darker. Now, on to the next. We'll be okay, won't we? Won't we? Notice the double, won't we? That repetition isn't filler. That's fear cracking through the armor. It's desperation, the human part still clinging, still begging for reassurance. And honestly, that's the most relatable part of this whole exchange. Because haven't we all asked that question in the middle of chaos? We'll be okay, right? And the silence after is always louder than the words. But here's the forbidden knowledge hidden here. Even in transformation, even in rebellion, doubt lingers. You can be more than human, more than prey, but deep down, the child in you still asks the same thing. Will I survive? Will I make it through this? And then comes the final blow. All this time, we've been afraid of them. But I think they should be afraid of us. The chills. Absolute chills. Because this is no longer fear. This is prophecy. It's the declaration of a shift in power, the moment when the prey not only escapes the predator, but becomes the predator's nightmare. But here's where I want to push this deeper. Why is this line so unsettling? Because it taps into something we don't want to admit: fear is power. Whoever controls the fear controls the battlefield. And if they should be afraid of us, then it means we're no longer chained by survival. We're dictating it. And here's where things get truly controversial. If the prey becomes predator, if the weak becomes strong, then doesn't the cycle just continue? Haven't we seen this in history already? The oppressed rise, overthrow their oppressors, and then, slowly but surely, they become the new tyrants. It's not just fiction. It's human nature. So here's my theory: this scene isn't just about monsters and humans. It's about the inevitability of cycles. Today's victims are tomorrow's conquerors. And maybe the real forbidden truth is this: there's no such thing as balance, just endless shifts of fear and power. And honestly, that terrifies me more than the monsters themselves. Quick question for you: do you think this cycle can ever be broken? Or are we doomed to always flip between predator and prey, century after century, story after story? I want to see what side you're on. Drop your take in the comments. But let me toss in something personal here. I'll admit it. If I were in this world, if I heard someone say, they should be afraid of us, a part of me would feel proud. A part of me would think, finally. But the other part, the human part, would whisper, and what happens when we lose control? Because here's the haunting secret nobody wants to face: once fear changes hands, it never disappears. It just finds a new home. And if we become the ones others should fear, then maybe we're no different than the monsters we fought so hard to escape. But don't get too comfortable, because what I've just laid out is only the surface. There are hidden layers in this dialogue that hint at a much bigger theme: evolution, identity, and the collapse of morality when survival is on the line. And trust me, the next part might just be the darkest yet.